Good morning. Welcome to Member Focus Monday. I'm Christina Schaefer, Social Media Manager for HAR. I'm joined this morning by HAR Executive Vice President Rene Galvan. Welcome, Rene.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. So I'm going to have Rene introduce himself in just a moment, but I do want to go ahead and let everyone know that today's Member Focus Monday and this week's HAR On the Move podcast is sponsored by Rodox. They are a telemedicine company that we'll hear a little bit more about later in this program. But for now, again, welcome, Rene. This is your first time on our program.
Yes, it is.
Under stressful circumstances, but
Right,
we'll take it, right?
Right.
So before we get into some of the questions I have for you, the frequently asked questions from our members, and some updates that you have for us, if you could just quickly introduce yourself so our members know a little bit about you.
Sure. Again, my name is Rene Galvan. I'm the Executive Vice President. I started with HAR back in 1996. Hard to believe it's been that long. But I'm a CPA by training, so I work with our accounting team to save the assets of our association. I also work with our senior staff and our volunteer leaders to scan the horizon to see what kind of technology or trends might impact our members in the future. And so, we like to try to be ready if those changes ever come to our market.
Very good. Thank you. I have a lot of questions for you, but members, as you're watching, if you have any questions for Rene, type them into the comments. As always, I'll be monitoring those. So far, just a lot of people telling you good morning, Rene. So if you could just give us an update on the HAR staff, how are members able to get support at this time?
Sure. So 95% of the HAR staff is working remotely due to the circumstances, but they are able to maintain our normal operations Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. We also have just recently expanded the weekend service that we offer to include voice support. We used to do just chat, but we've expanded it to have the switchboard open from 9:30 to 3 on Saturdays and Sundays. And we're available on those weekends to assist with issues regarding to membership, Supra, and MLS.
Okay, so they just call the main number like they have in the past and
Absolutely.
get support?
Absolutely.
Very good. So we've seen this a lot, and there have been some changes, and it seems like every county is a little different. A lot of members have raised concern over the stay-home orders that have been issued across the counties in our area. Could you explain what's currently allowed and not allowed in the Houston area counties?
Okay, so for Harris County, the Stay Home Safe Work Ordinance order says that real estate services, any sales and leasing functions for both residential and commercial, those can continue, but they recommend that they be done virtually when possible. If you do end up doing something in person, you need to maintain the social distancing guidelines. But real estate services, as far as the Harris County order, it's explicit. It mentions inspectors, appraisers, including also brokers and agents, obviously, title, mortgage, photographers, etc. And that's for Harris County. Every other county that you mentioned, all the orders are a little bit different. So what we're doing is we provided on our har.com coronavirus website a link to all of the orders from the different counties so that you can refer to those and see what exactly is allowed in your county.
Okay. Another question I've seen is, from members, kind of the opposite side of it almost. Why did HAR advocate for real estate services to be deemed essential?
Certainly. So when these orders were being considered, our MLS had over 13,000 pending transactions, and so that could represent 26,000 families. So we wanted our members to be in a position to help their clients complete that transaction. I mean, I think everyone would agree that shelter is a basic
Looks like we lost Rene there for a second, and we will get back to that. I want to take a look at the comments that are coming in. I see one from Rita, our Director of Professional Development, saying that they are increasing the class sizes for our April offerings. So they'll be adding more MLS trainings. I did get a lot of questions about this weekend, MLS trainings and if we're adding more. So it looks like her team is on top of that. Thank you so much, Rita. I do see a few other questions, and we'll get Rene back here in just a moment. Chris Schilling said he's looking for the best tool to use for live video tours. He's using Zoom. He's asking, are there any other recommendations that are a member benefit? That is coming very soon, Chris. Taki and his team are working around the clock to build a live platform for our members. They're hoping to have it ready this week, and I'm sure Rene, when we get him back, can talk about that a little bit more. But be on the lookout for that, hopefully this week, early next week potentially, but they are working on that live platform. And I think we have Rene back. Hi, Rene.
All right, I don't know what happened.
That's all right. Gotta love technology,
Right.
excuse me.
So I'm not sure what part of my answer you were able to hear, but
You were giving us an update, on the pending transactions and why HAR was advocating for real estate services to be
okay. So
essential.
again, there were 13,000 transactions that were pending when those orders were being considered. So, again, that could be 26,000 families that need shelter. And so that's what we were advocating, is to allow our members to be able to continue to assist their clients. Again, using virtual means as much as possible, but again, having the ability to help their clients.
Very good. We also saw a lot of questions from our affiliate members. What is allowed for vendors, title inspectors, movers, appraisers, etc. And so it sounds like that's pretty much the same as what's allowed for realtors in most counties. Is that correct?
Yes, I would say so. But again, I'll need to direct you to the har.com/coronavirus website so that you can review that with the attorney and see what is actually allowed in your county.
Very good. Another question we see about the orders, do they allow realtors to list new homes or only complete closings?
Okay, again, so this is something that is going to be different based on every order for each county. And so it's something that you're going to have to review to determine what is actually allowed in that county. We do, you should consult with your client though to let them know that these are no ordinary times. And so, the transaction may be a little different during this time than it would be in normal circumstances. And again, we encourage you to use virtual tools whenever possible.
Very good. Another question, and you kind of just answered it, but recommending virtual options. But should realtors attend closings at this point?
We are advising our members not to attend. You can handle, and you can be available by phone to answer any questions or issues that arise during the closing. Also, you might consider if there's a need to delay the transaction due to coronavirus issues. Texas Realtors has developed an addendum, the TXR 2520, that can be used to extend that. Another option would be to, that's it right now for that.
Okay. I saw Claudia asked, where is that info? The website is har.com/coronavirus. And we should be displaying that up on the screen for you to see as well. And we have a lot of FAQs, more than actually what I'm asking Rene today on that website as well. So there is a rumor that the Harris County Clerk's Office has stopped doing e-filings. Is that true? And what does that mean for transactions?
Right. We contacted the Harris County Clerk's Office on Friday and spoke with them. And what we were told is that they're no longer going to be allowed into the building. So you can continue to e-file documents, but they will not be processed until the county staff comes back to the office. So in terms of what that means for your closing, you should talk with your title company to see how that might impact you.
All right. So I see Deanna Prater said we're needing an official to navigate each of the county guidelines and give them in layman's terms, not just the links. I think on the coronavirus FAQ website, we tried to kind of explain county by county what was available, but also did provide links. Is that correct?
Yes. Again, I mean, our issue is that, we can't give you legal advice. So wherever possible, we're going back to the counties so that they can write in layman's terms exactly what is and is not allowed. So that's our challenge right now. That's what we're working on. But, as it stands at this particular moment, we have to read and interpret the order. We can't do it for you. You will need to consult your attorney to see what impact the order has for you.
That makes sense. So I do have some more questions, and I see our members are asking questions as well, but I want to take a moment just to remind everyone that today's Member Focus Monday and this week's HAR on the Move podcast are sponsored by Rodox. Rodox is an online healthcare service providing consultations via phone, tablet, or computer. You can get the attention you need whenever and wherever you need it. And I know for most of us right now that are not leaving our homes, that is a really, really helpful option, telemedicine. So we'll hear more about that later. Very, very common question I've seen, I even saw somebody posting it late last night, is will we be pausing days on market?
Okay, so I'm going to clarify the question because I have a lot of friends who are realtors, and they've been asking me this question. It's, can we pause the days on market for an active listing? I think that's what people are really wanting to know. And the answer to that is no. And there are really a number of reasons why. First, by definition, if a listing is in active status, it is on the market. And so, because the circumstances of the coronavirus issue, it's impacting every listing equally. There really is no competitive advantage or disadvantage being created for any agent by showing the actual true days on market. We feel like if we were to try to pause the days on market, that would be seen or could be seen as being less than transparent, because a lot of other sites, broker sites, Realtor.com, Zillow, etc., they're all going to continue to show days on site. And so, realtors are trusted advisors, so we need to present the true facts. I will say that HAR.com is now displaying on our website a message to consumers that due to the current situation, the days on HAR.com may not accurately reflect the typical market conditions. So I'll say that, in talking with other major MLSs around the country, they're all making the same decision not to pause days on market. But if a client that does truly want to stop days on market, we do have a solution for that. And the listing can be withdrawn from the MLS, and that would pause the days on market calculation.
Okay, thank you. And Rene, what Rene mentioned, that banner, it is on every single listing on HAR.com at this point. So if you go pull up your listing on HAR.com, not in Matrix, but HAR.com, you'll see that banner displayed. Okay, there's been some questions about the stimulus package, that it does include unemployment for independent contractors. How can realtors file for unemployment?
So that was part of a federal legislation that was passed and signed into law on Friday. And because it's a federal law, I think NAR is the best resource for information.
I think we just lost Rene again. Technology is a wonderful thing, isn't it? I'm going to take a moment just to look and see. I know a lot of you are typing in questions. Someone asked, what office are you in? A little peek behind the curtain here, but this is a green screen. Technology will meet on Thursday about the live stream open house integration with HAR. Yes, Ty, thank you for mentioning that. Harold said, I believe it's important to create video walkthroughs for every listing. It's been a practice of ours from day one. Excellent. Christine said, do you know if Bob Hale is talking to Montgomery County and other county officials to loosen real estate restrictions? We are. We are in communication with all of the counties in the Houston area. All right. Did we get him back? There he is.
Okay. Sorry about that.
That's all right. You were discussing the how realtors can file for unemployment.
Okay, so what I mentioned was that that legislation was just passed on Friday. So we are NAR is the best place to get information about that, and so we have a link to their information on our site as well.
Okay. I see a question here from Audrey. What about final walkthroughs before closing? What is your recommendation for that?
We're recommending that you not attend those, but if you must, again, well, first of all, you should check the order for your county and see if that is allowed, and that would be in consultation possibly with your attorney. And once you determine that you can do it, then you should maintain the social distancing requirements.
Okay. This is actually a question I had for you, and I see one of our members is asking as well. Mikkel said, if a client insists on viewing homes in person, is that still okay?
Again, that's going to depend on the order that's in effect in your county. So you'll need to talk with your attorney to see if it's allowable. But again, should you do it? Can you do it? That's a legal question. Should you do it? I mean, you need to protect yourself and your client. So that's something that if at all possible, if you can do it virtually, that would be our recommendation.
Okay. Trisha asked if Chamber counties could be included in the list for some sort of clarification. So a request there for Chambers County to be added.
Okay.
Bob Hale chimed in about the unemployment. He said, I believe each state will handle unemployment claims. I've been in contact with Texas Realtors and they're working on it in Texas. So just want to have you tell us, you talked a little bit about the current status of HAR and our employees and how members can get service. This is a question I've seen pop up a little bit, especially in our Platinum group, is how is HAR currently helping its members? What are we doing?
Again, probably the most significant change that we've made is that for the third quarter, we are waiving the MLS subscriber fees for brokers and agents for all members that are current with their second quarter fees. And that's going to be a savings to members of over $4 million. So that's one. Secondly, we did expand our weekend support hours. We used to be 10 to 2, now we're 9:30 to 3. We have converted all of our HAR training courses to be virtual, including those that were for CE credit. So we are able to offer CE credit courses via Zoom and teleconference. So we're doing that. We're also working on a live streaming platform to help members host virtual open houses. And lastly, one of the things we're doing is tracking changes that are occurring in all the local communities so that our members have the most current up-to-date information available to them as easy as possible. So I made a note to see about adding Chambers County to that list.
Very good. Thank you for that. A lot of members thanking you for all the things that you're leading HAR to do, you and our leadership team. Monique said, I have buyers that are afraid to close on a new home because they're afraid they won't be able to sell their current home due to the market. Do you have any advice on that?
Wow. I'm not a practitioner, so I'm not
Mhm.
sure how to help them. They may want to delay. You can use it's possible they may want to just delay their current transaction for a time using the TR form. But,
Mhm.
just, talk to, talk to your broker and see what other tips you might be able to get that can help your clients through this time.
Okay. Grace was asking, most CE credit courses for the next couple of weeks are full. Can they add more? Yes, we actually did have a comment from Rita, our Director of Professional Development. She said they are adding more classes and increasing the amount of people allowed per class. So be on the lookout for that a little later today. Um, let's see. So Latasha said, playing devil's advocate here, if there are no foreclosures or evictions, how are our services essential outside of pending contracts? All other activities should cease.
What is is that a comment or a question?
So I think she's just wanting you to maybe reiterate the answer from earlier. Why did we advocate for real estate services to be essential? I guess she's wondering, aside from closing transactions, what is the reason?
Well, again, there are, again, like as I mentioned, there were 13,000 transactions that were currently in the pending status. So, every day, people's situations change. You could have a divorce situation. You could have, a relocation. There are going to still be needs for people. For most people, their home is their largest financial investment. So, again, uh, I don't know what everyone's personal situation is, but if they feel like they need to transact, we wanted our members to be able to assist them. And again, try to do it virtually as much as possible. But if you have a client that insists on being in person, you're able to do it.
Okay. Lisa just wanted a little clarification on the COVID-19 addendum. When should they use it, and how does it cover them?
I would say I would refer you to the TR legal hotline for when
Yeah.
to use it and or your broker.
I actually see a comment from Grant Harpold, HAR's legal counsel, that said use the addendum to extend closing based on the virus. So, all right. Very good. So I see a few other comments. Actually, um, somebody texted me also, or a layoff. So those are other reasons. Yes. All right. So looks like all the questions. Renee, do you have anything else for our members that you'd like to share?
Thing I forgot to mention in terms of the staffing is that the super center you
Yes.
can buy and pay for items online, and we do have a window, a 2-hour window that you can come pick those items up if there's something that you do need uh, uh, between 11 and 1. And when you place your order, we will confirm it, and so that when you come to pick it up, you just call us from your car, and we will bring the order out to bring it out to your car, so you don't have to come in.
Perfect. Curbside pickup. We love it. All right. So don't sign off just yet. We are going to say goodbye to Renee. And thank you, Renee, again for joining us. I see a lot of comments, people thanking you for this information. So we're going to let Renee go, but don't sign off just yet. We want to show you some information. I mentioned that we were sponsored by Rodox, but there's some really important information we want to share about telemedicine. So we're going to share just a quick video with you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Letitia Rowe, a family medicine physician and the founder of Rodox. I look forward to discussing with the HAR community the importance of utilizing telemedicine during the coronavirus outbreak to stay healthy. Whether you're working from home or out showing homes or a manager for a residential community, telemedicine can benefit you, your clients, and your tenants. Tune in and learn the best way to stay healthy during these trying times.
So that was Dr. Tisha Rowe. Again, They sponsored today's Member Focus Monday and this week's HAR on the Move podcast. Just a couple tips from Dr. Rowe. Telemedicine can help residential communities during the COVID-19 crisis. You can talk to Rowe Docs about using downtime effectively to prioritize your health, and you can learn how to stay safe while practicing real estate. So thank you again to Rowe Docs, obviously a very important sponsor at this time with so many of us at home and not wanting to really leave unless we have to. So again, I see a lot of members thanking us. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back again next week, same time, same place, Monday at 9 a.m. I hope everyone has a great week. Bye-bye.